Hi, I'm Bet from Bet's Makes, and today we're going to be making an exploding box. Now for making this project, you're going to need 6 sheets of 12 by 12 pattern paper, and I would suggest using 3 styles of patterns, 2 sheets of each. And then you're going to need some light cardstock, or you can use laser copy paper for the inside decoration. I'll just take this apart and show you exactly what we're going to do. Other things you're going to need is a scraper and of course some glue, any kind of glue you want. The glue I used was just this Dara school glue. It's a clear drying glue. That's all I needed, as long as everything holds together. Now this is the box on the outside, and so one of the pieces of paper was for the lid, and then of course the outside of the box. The laser paper or the light cardstock gets glued on the inside, so that's the outer layer. This is layer number 2, so another pattern paper with a lid and the outside, and I used the same light cardstock in the center. And then of course the third one was a third pattern piece, and then it folds down this way, so you'll be able to put some treats inside. Anyways, this is a very fun, easy project to put together. You can do it in under 30 minutes. And one last thing before you start the craft, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. So let's get crafting. Well, here we are in Cricut Design Space, and we're getting ready to make our exploding box. There are 3 files, 3 SVG files you are going to need for this project. And the first one here is Exploding Box Decor. The next is Exploding Box Lids. And the third one is Exploding Box Bottoms. You're going to need all 3 of these to put into your project. So I'm simply just going to select them one at a time, and I'm going to insert the images. As with everything, sometimes pieces come in as black and sometimes as other colors. Since we really don't want to have everything in black, I'm just going to move these to the side. These are the decor pieces. I'm just going to make them another color, because when we go to put them on the mats, you want to be able to see those items in the mats. Otherwise they come out black on black and it's really difficult to see. Now the 3 lids are all grouped together, not to worry about it. We're going to cut, not lids, but the decor. And we're going to cut them all out of the same material, so I'm just going to leave them grouped for now. We don't need to attach them, but we're going to leave them as yellow. There's nothing more we need to do with those. The next group we have, of course, are the box lids. And then finally underneath we have the box bottoms. So let's deal with the lids. I'm just going to scroll down here a bit and give them some space so we can see them. Now the 3 lids will come out of 3 different pieces of paper, because we want the lid to match the box, and we haven't determined what that's going to be. But let's give these the treatment first before we have to worry about it. Now the internal lines, that's the square in the middle, and the outside 4 lines on each of these lids needs to be a score line. If you come over here on the layers palette, and you will see there are groups, and one of the groups of course is all these cut lines and the 2 pieces, and there should be 3 groups like this. So the first thing we're going to do is ungroup this, and I'm going to click on one of these boxes and take a look at the layers panel here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 cut lines, a cut in the middle, and a cut on the outside. What we want to do is change these ones, and I'm going to hold down the shift key, 3, 4, and the internal box in the middle, and we're going to leave this outside piece all on its own as a cut, but we're going to change these ones to score lines. In order to do that, I have to come over here to the line type, click on the down arrow and click on score. That is perfect. Now we have this box lid, that's the medium size one, and it is already grouped, but we do need to attach it. So we have to come down here on the bottom right and click attach, and I'll just move that to the side. Now we need to do the same thing with the small one here. all I need to do is just click and shift click in the layers panel, those first items, come over to the line type and change it to score. I'm going to select that group again, and I am going to attach it. I'll move this one over to the side. And then finally, we're going to take a look at this large one. I'm just going to click on it. It's already a group. Once again, click, shift, 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 click, shift, click. And line type, once again, we're going to come over here to score. And we're going to select that entire item, and we are going to attach it. So that is our lids, and I'm just going to move them out of the way here because now we have to deal with the boxes themselves. We have 3 different kinds of boxes which will be glued to each other, and when we open it we have to have this bottom piece, so we need to have these center pieces scored. But to start, all 3 boxes are grouped together, so I'm going to ungroup them. And I'm going to click on the one in the middle. There we go. And the one in the middle here. And there we go. So we have 3 different boxes. So the first one I'm going to deal with is this small one. If you look over in the layers panel here, we have the star cut. And we also have a cut for the box in the middle. Well, that we need to change to a score line. So we're going to come over here to line type and change that one to score. Perfect. Selected both pieces. We're going to click attach, and I'll just move it out of the way. We'll do now for the bigger one. Let me just move this other guy out of the way first. Move him over here. With the large one, same thing. We have 2 pieces. We have the middle part, which is here, and the outside part, which needs to be a cut. So we only want to score this middle piece. So let's click on score here, and then we're going to take those 2 pieces together and we're going to attach them. So now we have a couple of boxes here, and we have the final one down here. I'm just going to have to scroll down so we can see the entire thing. There we go. Now once again, 2 pieces. The bottom one is the cut. The top one is going to be our score line. So I'm going to click on it here, come over to line type, and I'm going to click on score. I'm going to select the whole thing here, and I am going to attach it. Now what we want to do is cut out the box and the lid in the same piece of paper. So we have to find where the small lid is here for this small one. That's the small lid, and that is the small top. Just move it more to the center so you can see it. So this one and this one, we're going to change to the same color. So you can't do it directly by just selecting them and come over here because it's got multiple, because we have score lines in the center. What we need to do is color them one at a time. So I'm going to click on the box itself, you'll find here, and I'm just going to select the part that is cut. I'm going to change this color. So it is cut, so the color is right beside it here. I'm going to change that to green. I'm going to come down to the box lid. I'm only going to select the box itself, and I'm going to change it to green. And there we have these 2 that go together. Now we have a medium size one, and we have a medium size lid. Same thing. I'm going to click on the box itself, only the cut line, and I'm going to choose a color. In this case, I'll do orange. And then the last lid here, which is a medium size lid. At least I hope it's the medium. Nope, there's the medium size lid. Well, how about that? I've got the wrong lid. So I can go back up here. This one has to be green. So let me just change this to green. So those 2 go together. This medium size one should have been orange. So now I've selected it. I'm going to change that to an orange. So I have everything matching up. So I have these 2, and these last 2 can remain white. It doesn't matter as long as they're the same. So we're looking pretty good. We have boxes with lids, and then we have the embellishments, all different colors, so they're going to come out in different mats. This is perfect. So let's save this so we can make this a little bit smaller, and it simply wants us to go down by 1/4 of an inch, 1/2 an inch. 1/2 an inch seems to be that, so we'll have to change the lid as well, so it goes down by 1/2 an inch. Otherwise the lid is going to be too big. So let's get the lid here, and let's butt it up to here. I'm going to change it by 1/2 an inch. 1, 2. There we go. So that should fit in there now. That looks pretty good. It looks like it will fit, so that's good. Well, that's good to know. When you have something that's a little bit too large, we have to change it by 1/2 an inch. Now, what will be interesting is to see, well, if we change that one by 1/2 an inch, will this one still fit inside? And it appears that it will. Okay, let's give it a shot. Let's click on Make It. It's going to sort into mats by color. So we have the top piece, the large box with the large lid in the same color. We have the orange sheet with the orange lid, and finally the last one is down here, the green, and they're all on separate, and the different size patterns we're going to need are right here. Now the one thing is you're going to need 4 of these, 4 of these, and 4 of these. And what we should have done is actually duplicated these so that when we bring them in, they'll either come on 1 or 2 sheets. So let's go do that. Click cancel here. Just going to move these over. Now we have 1 set of these. We need 4. So let's duplicate it 3 times. 1. So we've got 2 now, 3 and 4. Perfect. Let's save it again. Make sure we have everything saved. Let's make it. Those 2, those 2. I like to check everything to make sure. Now we have 2 sheets with all of these different size squares for the decorations. Perfect. And 2 for this. So we have 8 mats in total that we're going to need for this. So let's click continue, and we're going to use a medium cardstock for all of the cuts, except when you get to these decorations, I've used a light cardstock for these ones. So we'll have to remember, when you get to this one, you're going to have to come up and change the material. So let's give you an example. Let's go to the top one. We're going to pick our medium cardstock. It tells us we want the scoring wheel, and we'll load the mat. When we come down to this one, when it's ready to cut, we need to change the material, and we just simply have to click on the medium cardstock, and then I usually use laser copy paper as my lighter paper, or light cardstock. So it depends how thin your paper is. I will be using the light cardstock. So you just make the change, but you have to remember to set it back to the medium cardstock when you get back to your last 2 cuts. So that's just a word of warning. So let's go ahead, let's make this, and I'll see you on the other side when we go to assemble it. Well, here we are. We've got everything cut, and you'll see that I have the 3 different boxes here, and then I have the embellishment or the decorations that go inside. The other thing I have is just a little bit of school glue, and of course I have my scraper from Cricut in order to make nice crisp corners. So this is a fairly easy project to put together. So let's start with the larger box. Just move these other ones aside for now. I have the bottom, and all we need to do is just fold those in. You want to make sure you get nice crisp lines going in. And in order to make this pretty easy, we're going to glue those 4 squares inside here, so it's all the way around. And this is just a decoration so it's not just white on the inside. Just take a little bit of glue here. Alright, that's the inside of the first box. Now that is the bottom part, and we're not going to worry about this too much right now because we're going to glue the other boxes on top. And now it's time for the lid. Now the lid is a little bit different. Still going to have to use the scraper to make some nice crisp line, or burnish, as in the industry they say burnish. Now you'll notice that there are flaps on the lids on 2 sides. What we're going to do is glue these lids to these pieces. So let's just do the first one here. And we'll put that aside. When this goes together, this will come up like this, and this lid will come over top. Okay, that's the first one. We're going to do exactly the same for these ones, and I'll just quickly put these together, and then we'll come right back and we'll start gluing the boxes together. Alright, we have now put together all of the boxes. Now we have to put them together again, but this time they're going to come into each other, so we're going to have to glue the bottoms. So I'm going to take the bottom of this and I'm going to glue it in place here. So that's going to be the first thing we do. Now the whole idea behind it is you wanted to put a little treat in the inside. So what you're going to do is then put the box together this way. And then the next one's going to come up a little higher. Just put those together. And we'll put the lid on. Looking good. And then of course the last one. I'll just take off these clamps. And there we go. We have a beautiful exploding box. Now, a little trick with this as well is the fact that you can put little treats in all over the place with these. So if I lift off the first one, I could have treats on top of here. Some people have put little sweets, you could put little coins, you could put anything you want. And then when you open the next one, you could have more treats on the inside. And then of course with the last one, you could have even further treats and a greeting on the inside. So this is our little exploding box, and I hope you are able to put one together yourself. It's so much fun and it's so easy to do. Well, I really hope you enjoyed making this box, especially the exploding box, because you can put treats anywhere with it. So here's the lid, the top. You take the first layer off and it reveals another box inside, but it could also reveal little treats that you paste on the outside as well. And then of course there's the second layer, more treats, and of course whatever you decide gets popping out on the middle. And you can actually add a greeting inside here. And just as a recap, we used 6 sheets of medium cardstock paper. I used 3 different designs, as you can see here, 3 different designs, pattern paper, and I used a pattern light cardstock to put these inside pieces in place. and a little bit of glue and a spatula, and that's all you need. Now, one last thing before you start making another one of these, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, and happy crafting.